Here's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. A look at this week's headlines. Baguio plans extended ECQ. School comeback far-fetched. Cordillera COVID cases decreasing. PINGET asks for transparent SAP. BENGUET eyes quarantine facility. Baguio welcomes emergency fund. Group slam shoot to kill order. And Procor frontliners to receive hazard pay. And for the details.
In sync with President Rodrigo Duterte's order to extend the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine until April 30, the local government of Baguio is now preparing for life after its lifting. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong recommended the city be put under localized modified community lockdown after the national government lifts the Luzon ECQ as relayed to Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., Chief of the National Task Force for COVID-19. Life after the extended ECQ on April 30 is being planned, giving the city a chance to look at what areas of concern should be given focus beneficial to the residents. Magalong disclosed the city is looking at the possibility of opening economic activities in the city like transportation and construction sites, particularly on government projects. Jonathan Llanes, SunStar Baguio.
The return of students in the city may be the last priority amidst the global pandemic. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong said a meeting with the academe is set to formulate guidelines on how to handle plans to resume classes in the future. Earlier, Magalong has announced the extension of the suspension of classes in all levels until the end of May. The city is in the thick of planning strategies for each sector of the community to be ready when the enhanced community quarantine is lifted. City Administrator Bonifacio de la Peña said, if ever classes resume, it will be on a staggered basis. Maria Elena Catahan, SunStar Baguio.
As Baguio City continues to record 0 cases of coronavirus disease for more than a week, the Cordillera Regional Health Department remains on guard but hopeful that no positive cases will ensue. Dr. Amelita Pangilinan, DOH CAR Director, said the 8-day of zero registry should not be a reason for the Cordillera to be complacent. The Cordillera region is now listed to have a 5.26 case mortality rate with a recovery rate of 31.57%. Pangilinan explained cases and deaths at the National Capital Region have still not gone down, adding that mass testing should be conducted first in the region before the lockdown could be lifted. As of April 7, there are 19 confirmed cases in the region, with 10 still admitted. Jonathan Llanes, SunStar Baguio.
A petition on April 7 at Barangay Pinget calls for a transparent distribution of the now contested Social Amelioration Program, or SAP. The petition circulating at the barangay asks officials to conduct fair and actual validation on the ground, with each resident assessed based on their prevailing situation. In response to the petition, Mayor Benjamin Magalong asks for truthfulness from the barangay to answer the sentiments of the petitioners. The chief executive said, politicking and personal interest does not have any place in this emergency crisis the city is facing. Magalong assures representatives from the Office of the City Welfare and Development Office will be stationed in each barangay to help validate SAP recipients. Maria Elena Catahan, SunStar Baguio.
A facility to house patients under investigation for COVID-19 is being pushed in Benguet Province. Governor Melchor Diclas said the proposed facility to house PUIs with mild symptoms for the duration of the quarantine period is being studied to avoid exposure to the community. The facility is owned by the Benguet State University, which has earlier agreed for the use of the structure for COVID-19 cases. A memorandum of agreement between the Commission on Higher Education and the provincial government is being prepared on the use of the facility. The governor remains bullish for the facility to become functional and has designated the Provincial Health Office to manage it, adding the procurement of beds, installation of water facilities, and the setup of fencing is also needed on its perimeters. Benguet is hoping to flatten the pandemic curve, noting no new confirmed cases recorded since April 1. Lauren Elmondo, SunStar Baguio.
The 30 million pesos Quick Reaction Fund or QRF of Baguio City is now nearing exhaustion after being used for immediate needs of the local government unit since the onset of the Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong earlier asked city legislators to pass legislative measures for the release of the city supplemental budget. The mayor requested the city council for an additional 150 million pesos to be taken from the reversion of unimplemented projects of the city as a refurbishment of the QRF. In the first 2 weeks of ECQ, the city spent an average of 5.2 million pesos per week combined with mass support from donors. The 150 million pesos fund will be used solely for operational expenses for COVID-19, which includes the acquisition of equipment, especially essential items such as protective gears and food packages. Joven Peralta, SunStar Baguio.
Human rights advocates condemned an order to shoot civilians. The Cordillera Human Rights Alliance said the statement irresponsibly ordered police snipers to shoot communist organizers who unnecessarily organized the masses at this time in the Cordillera region. The statement came from Police Regional Office Cordillera Regional Director Brigadier General Arwin Pagkalinawan, echoing President Rodrigo Duterte's order to shoot anyone who creates trouble at these times. Tongtongan Tiomili likewise condemned Pagkalinawan's statement, saying the Police Regional Director's remarks mirrored the position of his Commander-in-Chief. The group added, the COVID-19 crisis has struck many of the most vulnerable parts of the population to hunger and desperation and has no recourse but to demand for better economic and social aid. Conway Copas, SunStar Baguio.
The Philippine National Police is now fast-tracking the smooth release of funds allocated for the hazard pay of police rendering official duties as frontliners during this time of the enhanced community quarantine. Police Regional Office Cordillera Director Arwin Pagkalinawan said the pay is based on the available funds of the PNP since government agencies are directed to source out a hazard pay from its own available funds from the 2020 appropriations. At present, the PNP is coordinating with the Department of Budget and Management for the availability of additional funds to complete the 500 peso maximum hazard pay for PNP frontliners. Pagkalinawan appealed to all Procor personnel to be guided accordingly with regards to the issuance pertaining to the grant of COVID-19 hazard pay. The General also urged the public to refrain from posting and sharing unverified information showing a hazard pay computation of the PNP Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, as these law enforcement agencies have not yet released their final computation of hazard pay. Nicole Cortez, SunStar Baguio.
And that's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. For more updates, visit us at our website at sunstar.com.ph/Baguio and like us on Facebook at Sunstar Daily Baguio. And here's a quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "The future depends on what you do today." Till next weekend, this is Conway Copas, reminding you to grab a copy of SunStar Baguio, the only daily newspaper in Northern Luzon. Happy weekend!